Hello everyone, today I'm sharing with you an easy but authentic Indian lamb curry recipe. First, let's go over our ingredients. We're using about 700 grams of lamb, 2 to 3 tomatoes, 2 onions, red or white, and some plain yogurt. Whether you use lamb shoulder or legs, it's preferred that the lamb has some sort of bone attached as it makes the curry taste way better. For spices specifically, on the left we have the spices that we use for marination, and on the right we have the spices that we use for cooking. None of these is hard to find. A few things I will say that is cumin seeds are way better than ground cumin. If you have ginger and garlic paste, you can use that over minced ginger and garlic. And last, if you prefer your curry to be less or more spicy, you can adjust the amount of green peppers used accordingly. So first, let's marinate our lamb. Add all of our marination spices to the lamb. Next, add in 1/3 of a cup of yogurt. And now it's time to get your hands dirty. After mixing, marinate for up to 1 hour. Now let's move on to our other ingredients. I was supposed to use 2 whole onions, but here I only have 1.5. That is still okay. Here's a quick trick to dice the onions. Use the very tip of the knife, slice the onions about 80 to 85% through. Turn it sideways and you can easily dice them into little squares. Use the same technique for the second onion as well. We can also use the same technique for the tomatoes. Don't worry if the tomatoes or onions are diced unevenly, as their shape and size won't affect the eventual texture of the curry. Heat up a pan and oil on high heat. First, we'll use the onions as our base. On medium heat, slowly fry them for about 5 to 8 minutes. For most recipes, usually at this stage the onions are ready to go, but for our curry, that is not enough. We need almost all the onions to have turned brown and almost black and burnt, as that is the flavor that we require for our curry. And now we can add in our cooking spices. You can add some oil if you feel that the onion are getting stuck to the pan. Next, the tomatoes. In about 3 minutes, all the tomatoes would have broken down into a paste like so. So now we can add in our lamb. After mixing our lamb and our tomato paste, now we can add boiling water, just enough to submerge all the lamb. Given different shapes and sizes of our pots and pans that you might use for this recipe, the water you might need could be very different from mine. But regardless, the golden rule is that you have to have enough water to fully cover all content in the pan. Now put a lid on and simmer on low heat for 2 hours. After 2 hours, half the water should have evaporated. And the lamb at this point is cooked enough that it is edible. But we're not done yet. Now bring everything back up to a boil on high heat to reduce the remaining water still in the pan. When the bottom of the pan becomes clearly visible when you stir it, that means most of the water has been boiled away. And that means our curry is almost ready. And now it's time to add in our peppers if you desire some spice. And lastly, just to add a tiny bit of water to smoothen the curry. On low heat, let it bubble for another 10 minutes. After that, our wait is finally over. With that extra bit of water that we added at the end, our curry is just the right texture. Now it's time to make it look pretty. You can serve this with naan, flatbreads, or on rice. It is all up to you. Finally, some parsley. And here we go. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.